They said America had never seen anything like it before. But on a warm June night in 1994, the quiet comfort of an upscale Los Angeles neighborhood was shattered forever. Blood on the walkway, a mother and friend lying lifeless in the shadows, and a name so famous it made the world stop in its tracks: O.J. Simpson. Before we dive into this twisted story, make sure you subscribe and stay with me until the end, because as you'll see, nothing about this case is as simple as it seems. The evidence, the lies, the chase, it all builds to a finale that left the world divided, outraged, and glued to the screen. But first, let's go back. It's June 12, 1994. Brentwood, Los Angeles. Nicole Brown Simpson is 35, beautiful, once married to football legend and Hollywood star O.J. Simpson. Their relationship was over, but the story wasn't. That night, she has dinner with family at a local restaurant. She smiles, she laughs. Nothing seems amiss. But when she returns home, darkness is waiting. Later, neighbors will remember hearing a dog's plaintive wails, howls so haunting they couldn't sleep. Just before midnight, Nicole's bloodied body lies crumpled on the walkway outside her townhouse. She's been nearly decapitated. Beside her is Ron Goldman, a 25-year-old waiter and friend who dropped by to return a pair of forgotten glasses. He's stabbed dozens of times. No witnesses, no warning, just blood soaking the ground. Police arrive to find the horrific scene. A dog, Nicole's Akita, paces in a frenzy, its white fur matted with blood. Officers follow it back and forth before discovering the bodies. Inside, candles are still flickering from her evening wind down. The children are asleep upstairs. The knife cuts were brutal, almost personal. Detectives see a trail of blood leading away from the crime scene. It's a clear sign the killer was injured during the attack. They collect everything. Blood droplets, a left-hand glove smeared with gore, footprints from expensive Bruno Magli shoes. But the real shock comes hours later, when they knock on O.J. Simpson's door. He isn't home. They find his white Ford Bronco parked crooked at the curb. There's blood on the door handle. Inside the car, more blood. On the console, on the carpet. Detectives peer through Simpson's Rockingham estate, quiet in the dawn light. Out back, hidden by an air conditioner, they find something chilling: another glove. It's the mate to the one at Nicole's home. Both soaked in blood. They also see blood dripped in the entryway, and on a small bathroom sink. It's as if someone tried to wash it away, but failed. Police quickly get a warrant for O.J.'s arrest. But where is he? 2 days later, the entire world finds out. June 17th, afternoon. TV stations cut from NBA playoffs to breaking news: O.J. Simpson is now a fugitive. He's in the back of a white Ford Bronco on the 405 freeway, with his former teammate Al Cowlings driving. O.J. holds a gun to his own head. Police tail the Bronco at a crawl. No road spikes, no ramming. Viewers around the world watch live as one of America's most famous men contemplates suicide while inching along the freeway. Spectators gather on overpasses, chanting his name. It's surreal. He calls 911, crying about wanting to see his mother, telling his children he loves them. It's not just a chase. It's a confession in slow motion. But does that make him guilty? Finally, after hours of televised suspense, the Bronco arrives at Simpson's mansion. O.J. surrenders. Inside the vehicle, $8,000 in cash. A fake beard, a passport, a revolver. He's arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder. America is stunned. O.J. was the American hero. Heisman Trophy winner, charismatic actor, commercial pitchman. Now he's accused of slaughtering the mother of his children and an innocent friend. But that was only the beginning of the story. July 1994, the preliminary hearing. Blood evidence is overwhelming. Investigators say they found O.J.'s blood at the crime scene. Nicole and Ron's blood in his car. The gloves. They had all 3 people's blood on them. O.J. pleads not guilty. But the defense begins building a counterattack that will change courtroom drama forever. They claim he's being framed. That the LAPD is racist. That Detective Mark Furman planted evidence. They insist the gloves were staged. And then, on national television, prosecutor Chris Darden makes what will be called the biggest blunder of the trial. He asks O.J. to try on the gloves. In front of the jury, O.J. grimaces, struggles. "They don't fit," he says dramatically. His lawyer, Johnny Cochran, seizes the moment. "If it doesn't fit, you must acquit." A catchphrase born for television. It's electric. But is it the truth? Meanwhile, prosecutors show photos of Nicole's bruised face from past abuse. 911 calls with her pleading for help. The defense counters with audio of Furman using racial slurs, suggesting he was so racist he'd do anything to frame a black celebrity. The jury, largely black, listens intently. It's no longer just about two dead bodies in Brentwood. It's about America's racial wounds. Police corruption. Domestic violence. The media eats it up. Cable news runs wall-to-wall coverage. People choose sides. In barbershops, offices, dinner tables, it's the only topic anyone discusses. Month after month, the trial becomes theater. O.J. sits stoic in his tailored suits. The defense, Cochran, Shapiro, Kardashian, Bailey, work the cameras, spin conspiracy. Prosecutor Marcia Clark, often mocked for her hair and clothes, looks exhausted but relentless. DNA experts drone on about probabilities. Photos of blood trails, the gloves, the Bronco, all displayed for the world. But doubt begins to spread. Did the LAPD cut corners? Did racism infect the investigation? Or was this all distraction from a man who murdered in rage? Finally, in October 1995, after 9 months of courtroom drama, the jury vanishes into deliberation. America holds its breath. Some people pray for justice for Nicole and Ron. Others pray for a black man they see as persecuted by a racist system. Outside the courthouse, news crews jostle. In offices, schools, factories, people gather around TVs. And after just 4 hours, the jury returns. They have a verdict. O.J. stands. The room is electric with tension. The foreperson speaks. Not guilty. Gasps. Cheers. Sobs. Nicole's family collapses in grief. O.J.'s supporters celebrate. The nation erupts in arguments that will rage for decades. Did he get away with murder? Or did the system finally show that it couldn't railroad another black man? But even as O.J. smiled and walked free, the blood didn't wash away. Civil court would later find him liable for the deaths, ordering him to pay millions to the victims' families. His reputation shattered, his fortune drained. Years later, he'd be imprisoned for an unrelated armed robbery in Las Vegas. But the shadow of those murders in Brentwood never lifted. And today, decades later, people still ask, what really happened that night? Who really bled on the walkway? Who was the man in the Bronco running from? And perhaps the most haunting question of all, if you saw those blood-soaked gloves, would you dare to say they didn't fit? But this story doesn't end here. Because even now, behind the smiles and interviews, behind the tabloid headlines and aging face, lies a secret only one man can truly answer. Did O.J. Simpson really get away with murder? Or is the truth far darker than anyone is willing to believe? Stay tuned, because the real story may not have been told yet.